I raced my own kart at the most difficult track in the Netherlands. We had great pace, some good overtakes, we pulled off this insane dive bomb. But again, the karting gods decided differently. But first, let's see how we got here. Right guys, good morning. Yeah, kart for fun. If you think back to last time, it didn't go that well. The guy ahead of us also goes up the inside, but he makes contact and then we go. But time for redemption day. Track looks good, weather is good. We have a good mechanic with us. Jay, hello. Hello. And yeah, let's see what we can do this weekend. Right guys, welcome back aboard our senior rotax Max at Circuit de Landsard, just outside Eindhoven. This weekend we're racing in the Kart for Fun Championship, the largest non-official rotax series in the country. It was designed as a low-cost entry-level championship for beginners, or, in our case, a quick, cheap practice round for seasoned veterans. Just 2 weeks after this race, round 5 of the Dutch Rotax Max Challenge was happening on this exact same track. So a lot of pro drivers, including my student Jay, decided to come out here and race, both as a practice and, let's be honest, just for a bit of fun. That means we've got one of the most technical, challenging tracks in the country, filled to the brim with a mix of beginners and the fastest rotax drivers in the country. What could possibly go wrong? To give ourselves the best shot at this weekend, Friday's practice was all about fine-tuning both the driving and the setup. Now, I've done plenty of laps around the Landsard, but it's been a few years, and the track has changed. Several corners now have rumble strips on exit or entry, which means that you can carry more speeds and run a little bit wider without being punished, which means faster lap times. The biggest change is the turn 6-7 chicane. Back in the day, the inside curve was massive, you had to go around it. But now, it's been flattened. If you hit it right, you can absolutely send it straight over, carrying way more speed. And once I figured that out, the lap times dropped significantly. We made a quick pit stop to test a different carburetor, and it actually helped the engine breathe a little bit better. Which was needed, because this engine has a lot of hours on it since the last rebuild. Normally, JVD Power would have that sorted out for us, but as I mentioned in an earlier video, they suffered a fire that burned out most of the workshop. So at this point in time, no fresh rebuild and no maintenance on our engine. So we had to make do with what we had. Acceleration still felt fine, but we were clearly down on top speed, which at a track with mostly short straights, like this, might just be manageable. Only time would tell. Next session it was time to bolt on a fresh set of tires and simulate a qualifying run. Like I've explained before, the Mojo D5s have a massive performance spike on laps 2 and 3, so you only get 2 shots, and you need to absolutely nail them. For me, this session it just didn't click. My lap was nowhere near Jay's, even though we both went out on new tires. So that was frustrating, but also kind of motivating. I was proud of Jay's pace as my student, but I was a little bit annoyed at myself. So I turned to AI Motor, the AI tool I've been using for telemetry. Even though Jay and I run different data systems, I could overlay the data and compare everything directly. And the result was crystal clear. I was overdriving, pushing too hard into corners, focusing too much on the entries, and paying for it on the exits. Even the AI agreed with me on that. So, lesson learned. We have to be smoother and calmer, which in the end would make us faster. And Jay on the other hand, he was absolutely flying, which made me proud. And the good part is, I can become your coach too, with the RedExions Driver Development AI Motor Online Coaching Academy. We help drivers improve entirely online, working on driving, setup, media, driver management, and even physical training. We've helped drivers go from midfield to podiums, and we would love to help you too. The best part is that it's completely online and can be done from any location in the world. The link to sign up is in the description, check it out. We have a free trial period made for understanding how it works. And don't just take our word for it, but listen to these drivers.
AI Motor and RedExions Academy has helped me not only in the driving aspect of things by looking at onboards and data after track days, but also in the mental training aspect and physical training and setup analysis. And with all these skills combined, now I feel ready to move up to the next level, which is senior.
This is my rookie season and I've constantly been finishing in the top 8 with the AI Motors and RedExions Academy. From simply just arriving and driving, I've now grown into a driver who understands the deeper aspects of karting, helping my team make race day decisions. My focus now is to improve my consistency and my physical endurance with the AI Motors and RedExions Academy. Follow my journey as I chase my racing dreams.
Anyways, after being schooled by my own development program, time to go out on track for one more time today. We thought about what needed to improve and focused on it, and immediately we went 4/10 quicker. The pace for tomorrow was looking very good. One last pit stop with a small tire pressure adjustment, but by this time my focus for this day had run out and I started making mistakes. This year I'm really not behind the wheel that much anymore, and it showed. My student Jay is racing in the Dutch RMC, Kart for Fun Championship and various other races, so he is completely in the rhythm. That means he was still fully focused in this final session and he was able to set a lap time of 43.7, which is crazy fast. That means both of us were looking at strong pace for race day tomorrow. Then at the end of the day, of course, time to clean everything and prepare it all for the big race day tomorrow. Cleaning is very important as it allows you to spot any problems or damages like we did here. We found that our engine mount was broken and we had to get a new one. So, lesson learned. If we didn't clean today, we might not have spotted this broken part and we might not have finished the race tomorrow. Speaking of tomorrow...
Well guys, good morning. Time for some racing. It actually rained a lot last night, but now it's dry and it's going to stay dry for today. So probably the track will be a little bit different than what it was yesterday, but yeah, no idea. We'll see. Anyways, I'm ready, so let's go.
Righty guys, time for qualifying. Because of the huge grid, we're split into two groups. The idea is simple. Instead of one giant session in which everyone is just blocking each other, each group sets their time separately. Normally, the results would then get merged like this. The overall fastest time takes pole position. Then P2 goes to the fastest driver from the other group. And after that, P3 goes to the second fastest in group 1, P4 to the second fastest in group 2. It's a fair system, because if group 1 runs in the dry and then let's say it rains for group 2, everyone still has a shot of starting where their relative pace is instead of an entire group being disadvantaged due to different track conditions. So with that in mind, how did we play it? Well, qualifying at the Kart for Fun is all about getting clean air. If you get stuck in traffic, you get blocked and your lap is gone. That's why we waited in the pits before heading out, giving ourselves a pocket of space, even if it meant some guys latched onto us for slipstream. But honestly, I didn't really mind them because I was focusing on my own lap times and I would rather have free track than someone in front of me. So, time to push. Remember, the Mojo tires have a massive grip spike for laps 2 and 3, so it's crucial to nail a lap in that window. We used the peak perfectly and we got P2 in our group, which should translate to P3 or P4 overall. Psych! Turns out this championship doesn't actually merge the results. They just take everyone's best time straight up, which completely ignores track evolution. And unfortunately for us, the other group went about 7/10 quicker. So instead of starting out on the second row, we're starting in P12. Super frustrating, but the pace is clearly there. We should be able to get to the front. So let's reset and let's send it in these races. Let's freaking go. Well guys, race 1 is on the way. This weekend's result is decided by 3 races. Score the most points across all of them and you're the winner. Simple as that. In our class we have rolling starts, but here's the kicker. Before the race even began, we already picked up a penalty. Watch this moment right here. We get a massive hit from behind, which shoves us straight into the kart ahead. And that triggers the infamous front bumper system. Here's how it works. Pro karts have a penalty mechanism where if you hit someone or something too hard, the front bumper gets knocked out of place like this. After the race, stewards check your bumper and if it's out of position, boom, automatic 5-second penalty. No appeals possible. Now, this system is meant to stop people from punting each other off, but it also catches loads of innocent drivers, like us right here. We got hit, got no control over it and still, penalty. Anyways, that first start was cancelled, but one formation lap later, the lights went out and we are racing for real. Starts at this track are always chaotic because of the tight nature of this track. But we keep ourselves out of trouble for the first few corners and even manage to take a position, after which we bluff off the 388, which sees us now slot into 11th place. Now, let's get our head down and push. The entire top 10 has race-winning pace, as it's basically all pro drivers from the larger championships. This will make overtaking extra difficult, but a few laps later we catch up to the 393, use our strong JVD power engine to pull alongside and complete the move into turn 2. And as you can see, if you lose a position in karting, you immediately lose 2 or 3. Next, the 311. This time we have a bit more trouble, as his straight line speed seems to be relatively equal to ours. But here I see he is weak on the brakes into turn 1, so the next lap we absolutely send one up the inside, but run slightly wide and he pulls off a beautiful switchback move. Unfortunately for him, we are last of the late breakers into turn 3 and we take the position for good. Next, we caught up to the 369.
Nice.
But at this point it was already the last lap of the race and we had to settle for 9th on track, which due to our unfortunate penalty meant P12. Not great, and that also means we are starting the next race in P12. Let's build on the good pace we had last race. The 5 red lights go out once again and we are away, without penalties this time. The getaway itself is quite good and we managed to pick off 2 positions right away, which gives us P10. We then try a daring move around the outside of 2, but it doesn't really work, but at least we survived and didn't lose anything. Time to get our head down and push to get to the front. We once again find ourselves behind the 311, and just like last race, he was quite weak on the brakes into turn 2. So much so in fact that we give him a slight love tap in the braking zone, which slows both of us down. But we can't waste any time sitting behind him, so the next lap into turn 2 we pull off this insane dive bomb. The 311 runs wide and we get a weak exit, but we bluff off the other driver and we keep the position for now. Next, it's the 396 again. Knowing we are strong into turn 2, I decide to dive on him first chance we get and take P8, moving us one step closer to that strong front of the field. You can see our teammate slash student just up the road there in P6 as he was having a strong race too. Catching up to the leading train was going to be difficult because all of our lap times were really equal. But after about 7 laps, we are right on the bumper of the 393. Our straight line speed seems to have gotten a little bit worse, as unlike last race, we don't catch up to him at all. But our exit off of turn 2 is so good, I decide to go for it in turn 3. And that went wrong. Very wrong. Ouch. Yeah, that was completely my bad. I saw the gap, I went for it, but in doing so, I mounted the inside curb too much, which sent me straight into the 393. Our wheels touched, and we turned ourselves into a fidget spinner. We were able to continue, but we lost all positions and got a fully deserved penalty for the incident. Definitely not our greatest race, and a podium for today was now definitely off the table. The only thing for us to do now is to recover as many places as we could in the last race. Speaking of which, right guys, one last race today. No more chance of a podium, so let's just go for glory. The lights go out now and away we go. Starting in the lower midfield means we are right in the epicenter of the chaos, so I decide to take it a bit easy into 1 and 2. We get a good exit though and we can take this one position here. But then, chaos, as we have a pile-up right in front of us with nowhere to go. We have to take it to the grass and now we are really a long way off of the front. Let's focus and try to reclaim as many positions as possible. So we were making really good progress in this race so far, picking off one driver after another. Just like the 354 here. But it all went wrong again when we were behind the 393. Another crash. This time the damage was so bad, we had to retire. So let's look at what actually happened there. The 393 went for a move on the 322. And I always say you should always follow the overtaking driver in a situation like this, because it could gain you a free position. Unfortunately, the 322 did not expect us there. He turned in, he hit our rear wheel, which made us fly up into the air. And as you can imagine, when your rear wheels are off the ground, you cannot brake, which sent us straight into the 393, taking all 3 of us out of the race. Unfortunately, I don't really think we could have done anything there to avoid the contact, which brings us to a shitty end to a weekend that started pretty good. Anyways guys, see you next time. Peace.